Everyone, it's Kristen. So I finally found Storm 4. I'm very excited because I saw one of the images that was in this online, and after that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. And plus, after I read Storm 3, I thought, I really like the direction this is going. I want to find out what happens. So anyway, I'm really excited that I finally found it. I know I'm like I'm late. I'm behind like everybody else, but I'm glad I have it. I'm excited. So when we left, Storm had gone to um, Dr. Voodoo, which, like I've always known him as Brother Voodoo, but now he's Dr. Voodoo. But I guess that makes sense. So anyway. So because she was dying and so he cured her, he asked the spirits and they cured her, but of course it had a price. She couldn't use her mutant powers for like 7 days. So but Doom summoned her, so she used his raven to fly to Latveria because he wanted to talk about, mutants' place in the world. And she also said, because he's the new Sorcerer Supreme, that, the Avengers, who she's been associated with, would want, her to go, want to know what's going on with Doom, like what his plans are now. So you can see she has a garment bag in her arms, which is the dress that she asked Rogue to borrow. Here she is taking a bubble bath. And it talks about how, in some cultures, death isn't, a thing to be mourned, it's a thing to be celebrated. And in some cultures, the body's cleansed, before it's buried and, adorned and ornamental garments and jewelry and things like that. And it's not the end, it's just the beginning. So that's what they're kind of the thought bubbles are talking about here. So, okay, my thing is, of course, seeing this, she's putting the daggers, underneath so that in case she needs them, because she can't use her powers. It seems like when those stab her, it seems like they would stab her, the placement where they are. And you can see the bag says, oh, there you go, property of Anna Marie. So this is the dress that she borrowed from Rogue. And like I said, I love it. Like Lucas Warneck's work, I love his work. And I saw this dress on like a preview for this issue, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that issue. I mean, I love this dress. It's amazing. And he draws her so, I mean, he draws all the characters so well. But yeah, I love this dress. One of these days, I am going to wear a really fancy dress. I don't know where. I don't know when. I don't know if I ever will, but that is one of my goals is I want to wear a really fancy dress somewhere. Just because. So she's dining with Doom and he's like, you look as immaculate as ever. And he's glad that she picked green because of course, green is his color. And they're having gumbo, which somehow Doom knows her father's gumbo recipe, and that's what this little flashback is. And I love this too, this image of her, this close up of her. It's like I said, she's just so pretty and just drawn so well here. And Storm is like, how did you know, my father's gumbo recipe? It tastes exactly like his. And she's like, and all Doom says is I am Doom. Like enough of an explanation. He's Doom. That's what he does. And so now it comes out the dessert, which I love dessert. and but I don't know what this is. Obviously it looks like some kind of fancy dessert, but I don't know what that is. So if anyone knows and can clue me in, let me know. Because yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it looks good. Like I love dessert, so I'll eat it, but I don't know what it is. So, and apparently, for some reason, you know, basically Doom's talking about how I want mutants to be my people as a Romani, um, which is also what Scarlet Witch was. Um, well, I'm pretty sure she still is. I don't know. Like I said, they've redone her origin story a couple of times, so I'm not sure if she still is counted as one or if she is one or if, because her mom, the new version is her mom and dad were like a sorceress and a warlock. So I can't remember if they are still it Romani. Anyway, so Doom says, as a Romani, I'm used to being persecuted for who I am. And and I've risen above that. And I feel like mutants, you guys are kin with me because you have been persecuted for what you are, and you've risen above that, like to, just a higher, much greater heights than just being, human. So, and anyway, apparently Storm, for whatever reason, like I love her jewelry too. She kind of makes an unpleasant sound like she not really happy with the dessert. So Doom's like, bring the pastry chef here. And basically he's like, you have displeased my guest. And so kill him. And Storm stops him, hurls a knife at the guy wielding the sword, and then throws one at Doom. You can see it says pierce, like pierced the hand of the guy with the sword, hurled the other dagger at Doom, and he halted it with his powers. And Storm's like, yeah, you're going too far. Leave that guy alone. And Doom is, he's thinking, okay, she's lost her powers because she, could have, you know, tossed the guards aside with her wind. She could have flown over to Latveria under her own power, using the winds, or hurled down lightning to stop the guys. And yet she didn't do any of those. And Doom says, you know, basically he says that he catered this dessert specifically to mutant taste, and if she since she didn't like it, that means she's no longer a mutant. Like mutant taste buds, which I didn't know that they had different taste buds. I mean, that's something new that I've learned, that yeah, they have different taste buds apparently. So, you know, Storm is still like, what am I doing here? What do you want from me? I don't understand. And Doom is like, never fear, Storm. You've lost your powers, but I, Doom, will give them back to you. For Doom, rejoice, for Doom is kind. Like I said, every time I read a comic with him in it, it just kind of makes me laugh a little bit because he just is so over the top, so just confident, just like I said, just over the top in his mannerisms and his speech. Like he thinks he's the best thing ever, just super confident. So anyway, he Doom wants Storm to be his mutant ambassador, basically. And is getting mad. She starts to use her powers, and then you see it says impale. It's interesting that they're using like these words to also describe what's happening. Um, I haven't seen that in comic books in a while, honestly. So here's the spirit that Dr. Voodoo made a deal with so that Storm could live. And the spirit asked Storm to not use her powers for 7 days, and yet she used her powers before 7 days is up. So this spirit killed her. And we see Storm laying on the floor, realizing that she's dying and that all the things that are wrong with her. and she sees her father, and she runs to him and she's super happy to see him. And then she asks, she says, "I missed you, Dad." And he's like, "I missed you too." And she's like, "Where's Mom?" And um he's like, "She's not here, but we're so proud of you." She's like, "Well, I really want to see her. And, where is she?" And he says, "Well, you know, hurts us deeply to have to leave you, but it's not your time yet. It's not your time yet now." And she says, "Tell Mom I love her." And he said, "You can tell her yourself when your white hair turns gray." See, just a sweet moment between the two of them. And then we see her being transformed to something else. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be. Is that Doom? Like, do we find out? I assume we find out for sure in the next issue, but I don't know. It doesn't really look like Doom, but the face says to me, "My eternal storm." So she's reborn. She's no longer Storm. She's Eternal Storm. And it says to be continued. So yeah, I this was, a pretty, I would say, short issue. It had a lot of action, or a lot of, like one panel pages, or like splash pages. Like I said, I keep going back to this page because I love this dress. Like, I want a moment like this one of these days. Hopefully. Hopefully that'll happen. But yeah, love this dress. Like I said, I saw that as a preview in the previews online, and I just was like, I have to have this issue because I like having, you know, I like having physical issues instead of just reading them online, which is fine. I've always just been of the mindset, if I like have physical issues, I like having books in my hand. So anyway, so yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening, but I mean, that's the whole point. We don't know exactly what's happening. Um, so that's why we need to tune in to the next issue. I I don't know if it's out yet. I'm pretty sure it's probably out by now because I'm way behind, but it took me, like, literally, it took me forever to find this one. I don't know why, but for issue 4 was sold out like everywhere. So it took me weeks to find this one. So, but I'm really happy to have it. And now, like I said, now that I've read 3 because of the Uncanny X-Men tie-in, and then I've read 4 because I was like very intrigued by 3, and now that I've read 4, now I have to read 5. So I think it's already out, so I'm gonna have to look for it. And yeah, and I guess we'll talk about that, you know, when I get it. Like I said, I'm so far behind in all my comics just because it's hard for me to find them, or I have subscriptions on them and they don't come in on time. So, yeah. So yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know who this is. I don't know who, you know, rose her back from the dead and changed her into Eternal Storm. And I guess, like I said, we'll find out on in the next issue. So, until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.